According to German newspaper Der Spiegel, the U.S. Secret Service, CIA and the Pentagon are said to have received intel of an exceptionally detailed invasion plan scheduled for February 16.
Here's a summary of the article.
Russia is planning to invade Ukraine on Wednesday. A credible intelligence report has claimed, as U.S. President Joe Biden urgently arranged a telephone call with Vladimir Putin on Saturday in a bid to prevent war. Scottish man fears chaos as he tries to flee Ukraine with his family. As former ambassador warns not all Brits will get out, a Scottish man living in Ukraine has said he is concerned about chaos as he tries to get his family out of the country quickly amid growing concerns that Russia could launch an invasion. US and EU finalizing sanctions package should Russia invade Ukraine. US and European officials are finalizing an extensive package of sanctions if Russia invades Ukraine that targets major Russian banks, but does not include banning Russia from the SWIFT financial system, according to US and European officials. US-based Maxar Technologies, which has been tracking the buildup of Russian forces, said satellite images taken on Wednesday and Thursday showed large new deployments of troops, vehicles and warplanes at several locations in western Russia, Belarus and Crimea, which Russia annexed from Ukraine in 2014. According to the Military Times, 500 troop tents and hundreds of armored vehicles were shown at Oktyabrskoye airfield, an abandoned airfield found north of Simferopol, the Crimean Peninsula's second-largest city. Russia could launch invasion at any time. U.S. Secretary of State says Russia has sent more forces to its border with Ukraine and could launch an invasion at any time, including during the Winter Olympics, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Friday. U.S.-based Maxar Technologies, which has been tracking the buildup of Russian forces, said satellite images taken on Wednesday and Thursday showed large new deployments of troops, vehicles and warplanes at several locations in western Russia, Belarus and Crimea, which Russia annexed from Ukraine in 2014. According to the Military Times, 500 troop tents and hundreds of armored vehicles were shown at Oktyabrskoye airfield, an abandoned airfield found north of Simferopol, the Crimean Peninsula's second-largest city. Russia says it has no plans to invade but wants the West to keep Ukraine and other former Soviet countries out of NATO. It also wants NATO to refrain from deploying weapons there and to roll back alliance forces from Eastern Europe, demands flatly rejected by the West. Speaking at the start of his talks with Wallace, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu noted that the military-political situation in Europe is growing increasingly tense, and it's not our fault.
This post received a score of 60,000, with an upvote ratio of 85%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Sir, I saw our plans on Reddit, should we change them? What? On which sub?
What could go wrong?
There was an attempt.
Am I the asshole?
Oddly specific, seeing as it could be disinformation. BC, yeah no, Russia.
Relationship_advice. A normal day in Russia.
I would really like it if we could not do this though.
That would be my preference too.
Me three, but I can't help but think that's precisely why it's happening. No one in their right mind wants a massive war between nuclear-armed states, but Putin seems to be counting on the idea that NATO don't want it more than Russia doesn't want it.
Basically, he's being a right twat. I don't understand why Putin pushes the boundaries by illegally annexing a foreign country, then gets sanctions for doing so, and then cries and shouts, "Look at the West bullying me," crying face. I hate the guy.
This is the stuff that helped him gain power and popularity to begin with. And I suspect his popularity is waning more and more these days, which might be a reason to try and manufacture some support.
That's assuming the Russian population actually knows what's going on. Russian news programming is pushing that their armed forces are on the border due to Western buildup and aggression. They're pushing images and video of weapons and equipment rolling into Ukraine and surrounding areas. Putin is telling his people the buildup of the Russian military is because of this when, in fact, it's the other way around.
The German article they are referring to. Oh, right.
If you still want to read it. CIA expects Russian attack next week. The situation in Ukraine is coming to a dramatic head. According to Spiegel information, the U.S. warned allies in Europe that they feared a Russian attack on Wednesday.
U.S. intelligence agencies have warned NATO allies more urgently than ever before of an imminent attack by Russia on Ukraine. According to Spiegel information, both the U.S. intelligence agency CIA and the U.S. military informed the German government and other NATO states during the course of Friday that they feared, based on new information, that the attack could take place as early as next Wednesday. Already the night before, U.S. President Joe Biden had called on all U.S. citizens to leave Ukraine immediately.
From a British point of view, sitting in California, February 14 at first quarter of Super Bowl seems a good time to start.
From a Californian in California, the best time to go wine tasting and visit tourist spots is Super Bowl Sunday. It is clear roads and pure joy. It's wonderful to be tasting a coastal Pinot Noir when World War III starts.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.